Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. Now, I was a bit behind with the last Gundam News due to my vacation, but as you can see, I'm back in Belgium now, operating at full force. So, by the end of this video, we will be completely caught up again on the news, and by the end of the week, we'll be all back on schedule again. And talking about schedules, as I am recording this, the Steam Open Beta test for Gundam Battle Operation 2 has just gone live and will be held until January 19th, 5 PM Japan time. So if you weren't aware yet, you can download the game right now and give it a shot after the video. And if you have already been trying it out, I hope your experience has been better than during the last open beta.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
At least they're communicating now. And if you are from one of those regions where the game is banned, there is always NordVPN, which you can get with the code kkrt or the link down below, which will not just get you a sweet discount, but you'll also be supporting the channel. On the Gunpla front then, there is also some good news, but with the caveat of all of them being limited in some way. On the 21st, we'll be getting the high-grade Geara Doga Vincent Gleissner custom, a unit that at first glance might look identical to the already existing resin custom, but the blue looks like it's ever so slightly lighter, and the pipes are gray instead of yellow. And at 2,420 yen, 19 US, the price is also slightly higher. For the time, this blue Doga is limited to Gundam Site F at Fukuoka, with no word on it becoming available at the Gundam base, although it wouldn't be the first time that they say there's no word on it, with the Gunpla eventually becoming available at the Gundam base. But what they did get over at the Gundam base is the clear-colored Master Grade Kyrios for 5,830 yen, 45 US. This clear bad boy was announced on the 10th and became available on the 14th, again over at the Gundam base. And after this, it's just a whole lot of restocks and extra pre-orders over at P-Bandai. On the 10th, they opened pre-orders for a restock of the Master Grade Musha Gundam Mark II Tokugawa Ieyasu version and the SD Gundam BB Senshi Tokugawa Ieyasu Gundam Jet Black Armor version. The Master Grade goes for 7,343 yen, 57 US, and has armor modeled after the armor that Tokugawa Ieyasu wore during his first battle, and also comes with special stickers. And the SD goes for 1,362 yen, 11 US, and has armor modeled after the armor that he wore during his famous battle of Sekigahara. And also included in this set is Shiraishi, Ieyasu's favorite horse. But unlike real life, the two can also combine together to form a more chunky Ieyasu. At least I don't think they could do that in real life. And both of these are slated for a July re-release and are also going to be sold at the Shizuoka Hobby Square in the summer. And next up then, the Gundarium RX-78-2 Red Giant 3rd MS Team High-Grade Underwater Gundam Master Grade Balyut Pack, Old Geminus Unit 1, Old LO Booster, Old Hydra, Old Greep, Vaillant Suivant and Mercury Suivant double set, new LO Booster, new Geminus Unit 1, the new Assault Booster and High Mobility Unit, new Asclepios, and High-Grade Gundam TR6 Woundward Psychoblade Custom Advance of Zeta Reboot version also got extra stock over at P-Bandai. And unfortunately, the same basically goes for the figure news this week, with the new things not just being limited, but limited to China. First up, there was the Haro X World War Robot Square collaboration, which again creates those absolutely horrifying looking Haros. Maybe it's just me, but there's something about that mouth-esque beak thing that just gives me the creeps in combination with a Haro. For 79 yuan, 12 US, you can get an RX-78-2, Char's Zaku, Black Tri-Stars, Hyakushiki, Digital Camo, Silver, a Black, or 2 secret ones. And for 499 yuan, 74 US, you can get a big version with Jet Sitter Gal theme. And now this one, I do really like it, despite the aforementioned weird beak. And then the second China limited thing is the Zodiac Gundam Ichiban Kuji collaboration, and the way this works is just as with the Japanese version. You buy a ticket for 75 yuan, 11 US, and on the ticket it says which prize you won. A is a real type Tiger Gundam figure, B through K is a SD Zodiac Gundam in either normal color or special color, L is one of 5 acrylic stands, M is one of 5 twin tapestries, and if you get the final ticket, you get the real type Tiger Gundam special color version. And alongside this, we also got the full standing images of this year's Zodiac Gundam, the Rabbit Gundam, because of course, this year is the year of the rabbit. On the 10th then, pre-orders opened at P-Bandai for the Metal Structure Kaitai Shouki Sazabi optional part set, just in case you need to add some extra flair to your already ridiculously expensive Sazabi. The set will be coming your way in July, and for 29,700 yen, 230 US, you get a prototype long rifle, prototype long barrel, prototype funnel carrier, energy tubes, minifigures of Char and Quest, and more. And then on the 13th, pre-orders open for the Robot Spirit's new Gundam option part set, again over at P-Bandai. And for 3,850 and 30 US, this set includes the new Hyper Bazooka with effect part, the deployed version of the large fin funnel with beam effect part, 4 thruster effect parts, a dedicated action base, and an extra hand holding the Sazabi's cockpit. Now, remember how last time we talked about the collaboration with the baseball team, like the Susanoo Magic team? I think they really missed a chance to make the collaboration Gunpla the entry-grade new Gundam, but then with the Sazabi's cockpit as a basketball. But regardless, this new Gundam option set is currently slated for a May release. Which from Mercury then got a bunch of line stickers on the 10th, which unfortunately do not include the new aerial smash, but do include such gems as Gyul's Please Marry Me, Suletta's interesting pose after smacking Gyul's ass, Miorine cursing at her father, and her father saying that the aerial is, in fact, a Gundam. And on the same day, they also released an upcoming set of Witch from Mercury card-ass cards. They'll be releasing on February the 3rd, and one pack will set you back 200 yen from a vending machine or 220 yen from a store. And as you can see on screen, these cards are absolutely adorable. I do wonder what the image for the Ariel enhanced version is going to be. And talking about that new Ariel, I briefly touched upon the Gunpla last week, and it is definitely an interesting design. I do think I prefer the vanilla Ariel's body, but I really am digging the new Doben Wolf S gun that can also combine with the Gund bits to get supercharged. And of course, it will also have those fancy pre-molded Gund arm system parts for the chest. And another cool thing that I wasn't able to delve in earlier is the history of the Lefrith Ur and the Lefrith Thorn. Because 2 weeks ago, it was confirmed that they weren't just based on the standard Lefrith, but actually the Lefrith mass production prototypes. And rather than being new models, or like newly made models after the fact, they were apparently developed by Ox Earth before the Vanadis incident, meaning they were already somewhere during the prologue. And then finally for Witch from Mercury, about 1 or 2 weeks ago, we also got the announcement for the DVD and Blu-ray versions, and now we got both a 15-second and 30-second trailer up on YouTube. Neither of which are region locked, so you can check them out with the links down below. Now, however, do keep in mind that for anyone wanting to buy these sets, I couldn't find any mentions of English subtitles or any other subtitles for that matter. So definitely keep that in mind because they are quite pricey. The limited edition Blu-ray set for the first 3 episodes goes for 9,680 yen, 75 US, and the DVD set goes for 6,380 yen, 50 US. Both of them will include an Aztekasia leaflet, Aztekasia newspaper, student newspaper, a physical end card collection for the first three episodes, and an A3 poster for the people pre-ordering them. Then for the special Blu-ray version, you'll get a nice storage box and also a bonus item depending on which store you get it from. Both of them will be releasing on March the 24th, and on screen you can also see the release dates for the other 7 volumes, which will go for 8,580 yen, 67 US each for the Blu-ray versions, for the special Blu-ray versions, and 5,280 yen, 41 US for the normal DVD versions. And then on the gaming front, on the 14th, the collaboration between Monster Strike and Gundam started, and while I don't play Monster Strike myself, I can definitely appreciate the cool art that we've gotten out of it. I am totally digging the Suletta and Ariel and Atheron and Justice Gundam, but the others are really cool as well. We've got Amuro and the New Gundam, Camille and the Zeta, Kira and the Freedom, Setsuna and the Double O Riser, Banagher and Unicorn, Hero and the Wing Zero and the Zwaltz version, Char and the Zeong, Paptimus and the O, Haman and the Kubelay, Master Asia and the Master Gundam, Full Frontal and the Neo Zeong, Gyul and the Daryl Balde, and finally Mika and the Barbs Loops Rex. In the console version of Gundam Battle Operation 2 then, the Advanced Hazel joined the fun, Gundam Breaker Mobile got the Decisive Fire multi-mission, UC Engage got a login bonus for the Xi Gundam, as well as a gacha event for the Sinanju Stein NT version and Zoltan Akanen, and it has been announced that the next version of Gundam Extreme vs. 2 Cross Boost, called Gundam Extreme vs. 2 Overboost, will be shown off at the Japan Amusement Expo 2023 on February the 11th. And they'll not just be showing it off, but there will also be a playable demo version. In other news then, on January 15th, the Tamashii Nation store Shanghai opened. We got some new information from Advance of Zeta on the Gundam TR6 Haze'n-thely 2 Raw. On the 19th, a new Gashapon store will open in Saitama's Libro Kawagoe store, which will of course also be carrying Gundam Gachapons. And the TV version of Hathaway's Flash began airing in Japan on the 15th. It's basically just the movie version cut up in 4 pieces, which will now be aired weekly, followed by Gundam Thunderbolt and the TV version of Gundam NT. And if you're living in Japan, or use NordVPN to pretend that you're living in Japan, you can check out the trailer of the Hathaway's Flash TV version, linked down below. On to the things you could get this week then. On the 9th, we got 13 different sets of Valentine's Day chocolates from either the Wish from Mercury or the original Gundam series. And many of these designs were really cute before the final episode of the first season of Wish from Mercury. Now they kind of feel like wishing someone a happy birthday, with a birthday card having Suletta on it. But anyways, from Witch from Mercury, 1,728 yen, 14 US, get you an Ariel can with all kinds of different chocolates. 1,296 yen, 10 US, a special gift which includes heart-shaped Suletta and Miorine chocolates, or a Haro pouch with just Suletta and Miorine chocolates. 864 yen, 7 US, either a Suletta or Miorine can with chocolates. Or 378 yen, 3 US, get you a mini gift themed after either Suletta, Miorine, Gyul, Elan, or Shadiq. And then from the original Gundam series, things get a little bit less romantic. 1,100 yen, 9 US, gets you a mass-produced Zaku case with Zaku chocolates. 1,404 yen, 11 US, the RX-72 chocolate set. For 3,240 yen, 25 US, there is the Gundam Relief can, which has a very nice retro design and comes with a bunch of different chocolates inside. Then we've got the Gundam vs. Char Zaku chocolate gift for 2,160 yen, 17 US, the Red Comet's exclusive chocolate can for 1,620 yen, 13 US, the Earth Federation Forces chocolate set for 648 yen, 5 US, and finally the 1 Year War chocolate gift for 1,080 yen, 8 US. Next up then, on the 12th, we got a bunch of Gunpla stuff a bit ahead of schedule. For 1,760 yen, 14 US, there was Shaddiq's Michaelis that comes with a very unique right arm, complete with a small base and wire, a small shield for the left arm and beam effect parts. For also 1,760 yen, 14 US, you could get one or possibly multiple Beguir Pentes that come with a giant cross-shaped shield with movable handle, a really cool looking beam rifle, and 2 beam sabers. For 880 yen, 7 US, you could get the Ariel's High Mobility Backpack, which you can also equip to other machines. But with the latest episode, you might want to get this set for the pair of open hands that you can also, without a doubt, use on the enhanced Ariel. And then for 550 yen, 4 US, you could get a Witch from Mercury action base, which is designed for the various remote weapons that the Witch from Mercury Gunplas come with. And just as with the Beguir Pente, you might want to get multiples of this. With just 3 short and 3 long arms, you already need 2 sets for just the Ariel or the Lafrith. And on the 16th then, the Hathaway's Flash Original Soundtrack Analog Edition went up for sale. This very nice set goes for 7,700 yen, 60 US, and consists of 3 vinyls, which also include the ending theme for the new TV version. As for this week's reading material then, there was the February issue of Animage featuring an interview on the ending and the secrets behind the production of Soleda's and Miorine's ending of the first season. There was the February issue of Animedia, which has a special on Witch from Mercury and a bonus B2 poster of Witch from Mercury. The February issue of New Type featuring an absolutely gorgeous cover of the main Witch from Mercury girls in a kimono, with yet another B2 poster of the series. Volume 77 of Show a 40-Year-Old Man, which has a special on the original Gundam. Episodes 2 and 3 of the illustration of Dragonite manga appeared online and are linked down below. And finally, for those who couldn't grab the reprint of the Char's Counterattack Dojin at Comiket, you can now also pre-order it on Amazon and other bookstores, where it is currently slated for a January 27 release. And now we move on to the Gundam apparel for these past 10 days, and just like last time, there is a lot of stuff to cover. But this time around, it is almost entirely from Bankore, with the only exception being on the 16th, and that was the Mafty-themed folding container in which you can store some of that Bankore stuff, which we will be talking about in a second. Pre-orders went up for it on P-Bandai, and for 7,150 yen, 56 US, this thing can be yours in May. The Bankore stuff then started on the 6th with 2 types of reversible mini tote bags that go for 3,520 yen each, 28 US, with the available design being either Suleta or Miorine. And on the same day, you could also order a full color t-shirt for 5,500 yen, 43 US, with either the Ariel or the main cast of the series. And all of these items are slated for a February release. 2 days later then, we got the next leather accessory set, this time themed after the standard Aztec Cassia uniform. 22,000 yen, 171 US, gets you a long wallet, 19,800 yen, 155 US, a standard bifold wallet, and 12,100 yen, 94 US, either a business card case or a pass case, all of which are slated for a March release. On the 12th then, we first got the Gundam MSV Pilot Series hoodies, featuring either a black or red Johnny Raiden hoodie or a gray or white Shin Matsunaga hoodie for 8,250 yen, 64 US. There was the Gundam MSV UC and G Gundam Belt series, featuring belts with either a Johnny Raiden, Shin Matsunaga, Vis Foundation, King of Hearts, Earth Federation, Zeon, Char, Neo Zeon, or Amuro emblem for 3,850 and 30 US a pop. And finally, there were the Char and Amuro accessories and glasses collections. There's a silver 925 Char or Amuro necklace for 9,900 yen 77 US, a Char or Amuro stone bracelet for 6,600 yen 51 US, and a fancy Char or Amuro glass for 2,750 yen 22 US. And these are slated for a February release. Next up then was Friday the 13th, the unlucky day that probably spelled doom for your wallet. Because first up was the Witch from Mercury Holder Mark Apparel Items Collection, featuring a bunch of items with the holder emblem on it. There's a stadium jacket for 17,600 yen, 137 US, a zip-up hoodie for 16,500 yen, 129 US, a work shirt for 7,480 yen, 58 US, a two-way tote bag for 5,500 yen, 43 US, and a muffler for 7,700 yen, 60 US. Then there were the G Gundam Fighter items, featuring a bunch of items with the tagline, "Go for it Gundam Fighters," along with the main image of the Gundam fight. There's a t-shirt for 4,070 yen, 32 US, a tote bag for 2,420 yen, 19 US, a face towel for 2,750 yen, 22 US, a mug for 2,530 yen, 20 US, a glass for 1,760 yen, 14 US, an acrylic stand for 1,870 yen, 15 US, and an acrylic charm for 880 yen, 7 US. And then there were also the Mobile Suit Backpack Motif two-way tote bags, featuring a tote bag that you can either hold like a bag or strap onto your back, really showing off the backpack motif. And for 5,940 yen, 46 US, you can either get an RX-78-2 version, standard green Zaku version, or blue Zaku version. And one day later then, you could get the Anaheim Electronics Room item collection. Because remember, in universe, Anaheim Electronics wasn't just making mobile suits, they were literally making anything. So now you too can get an Anaheim Electronics Mobile Suit Development Department t-shirt for 3,520 yen, 27 US, sweatshirt for 7,150 yen, 56 US, sweatpants for 6,050 yen, 47 US, mug for 2,520 yen, 20 US, and bath towel for 4,400 yen, 35 US. All of which are slated for a February release. And then one day later, you could get some Hathaway's Flash stuff. There was the Mark X Mobile Suit item collection featuring a really cool rendition of the Sea Gundam and the Penelope inside of the insignia of their respective faction, which is available on either a t-shirt for 3,520 yen, 27 US, or a hoodie for 7,700 yen, 60 US. And then there was the fake Mafty item collection, featuring a lot of pumpkins and other masks on either a t-shirt for 3,520 and 27 US, a hoodie for 8,250 and 64 US, a towel for 2,420 and 19 US, and acrylic charms that can either be linked together or used separately for 2,750 and 22 US. All of which are up for a March release. And then last but not least, there was the Turn A Gundam Apparel and Miscellaneous Items collection. And included in this collection are a glow-in-the-dark Turn A hoodie for 8,250 yen, 64 US, glow-in-the-dark Moonlight Butterfly t-shirt for 3,850 yen, 30 US, a glow-in-the-dark Moonlight Butterfly tote bag for 2,750 yen, 22 US, Turn A Gundam face towel for a price that I forgot to write down, Turn A emblem glass for 1,760 yen, 14 US, and a Turn A emblem acrylic keychain for 1,100 yen, 9 US. All of which are scheduled for a February release. So now let's quickly wrap up this Gundam news with some polls, with some very interesting results. First up, the one with the most close-cut results is the one from when Gundam.info wanted to know which Gundam we would like to see next in the Master Grade Super Deformed line. And with the first one being the Freedom Gundam, it shouldn't come as a surprise that the top 3 are all very closely related to the Freedom. Its sister unit, the Justice, won with 32.4%, putting it only just ahead of the Strike Gundam with 30.2%, which itself only just beat out the Providence Gundam with 28.0%. So an extremely close 3-way battle. And then the poor Aegis came in dead last with only 9.4%. But just like I said back when this poll was still ongoing, this is definitely because the Aegis doesn't have a direct connection to the Freedom Gundam, and it definitely would have scored higher if the Strike had been the first Master Grade Super Deformed. But next up, we had some results that made me question everything. The poll on what the biggest Gundam-related thing was in 2022, with the final results being Kukuru's Dewan's Island with 12.2%, the 4th and 5th movie of Reconquista in G with 17.6%, the life-sized new Gundam with 21.5%, and of course, Witch from Mercury in a grand victory with 48.8%. Basically the results that I would have expected if it hadn't been for my previous coverage of the poll, where the 4th and 5th Reconquista in G movies were actually in a pretty comfortable lead with only a little bit of time to go. So this definitely struck me as weird, because I could have understood Witch from Mercury winning out, but by this degree, to the point that Reconquista in G is suddenly in 3rd place, that definitely struck me as odd. So I did a little bit of digging, and it turns out that Gundam.info, the website, isn't the only place where votes count. It also turns out that over at the Gundam.info Twitter, you can also vote, and over there, Witch from Mercury had an extremely commanding lead, which then led to the results that we have today. As for the ongoing one then, with the Robot Spirits Dual Gundam version anime being released in March, Gundam.info wants to know what our favorite duel scene is. And the available options are the Le Creuset team cornering the Strike, the duel getting stabbed by the Strike, leading to Isaac's famous scar. Again, it's always a little bit sad when one of the most famous scenes is of the mobile suit kinda losing. The duel defeating the Forbidden, and the duel defeating the Raider. I'll have the options to vote on either Twitter or the Gundam.info website down below. And that has been all for this Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all later this week when we get back on track.